Now today we will discuss about alternative array declaration syntax. Now we are familiar with one-dimensional array and how to access and initialize one-dimensional array and two-dimensional array, right? And apart from this, we have alternative array declaration. There is a second form that can be used to declare an array, that is type followed by variable name. Okay, here the square brackets follow the name of the array variable, not the type specifier. So in C programming, I think you are using this kind of syntax: int, array name and square bracket, right? And this is also possible to declare array in Java. For example, I can say int counter, then square box, that is one dimensional, is equal to new int, then here is my size of the array. So this kind of syntax we have already learned, right? And apart from, also we can declare this same array in this way: int one dimensional followed by counter, that is array name, is equal to new int 3, that is array size. So alternative array declaration is also possible. Okay, and the following declarations are also equivalent. For example, here I am taking the data type as char, right? Char table two-dimensional array is equal to new char 3 rows and 4 columns, right? And same we can also declare in this way also: char followed by two-dimensional array, that is 2 square box, then table is equal to new char 3 rows and 4 column. Okay, so this is about regarding arrays. Now another concept in array, that is assigning array reference. So array reference means you have to immediately know that when you create an object, right, how we are going to create with the help of new variable, right? Same way we have to use that reference to assign another array. Okay, as with other objects, when we assign one array reference variable to another, we are simply changing what object that variable refers to. For example, I'll tell you in next slide. We are not causing a copy of the array. See here, we are not causing the copy of the array to be made what we have already created, nor are we causing the contents of one array to be copied to other. Here we are just referring the other main array object. Okay, we are not taking the copy of whole array, just we are referencing. See, there are two arrays we have, right? The first array name is what? Can you tell me first array name? First array. What is the name of the first array? Kiran? AITM. Then second array name is MCA, right? So we are referencing one array to another array, referencing. Okay, see, AITM has the elements. How many elements? 3 elements. That elements are 4, 5, 6. Right? Now MCA has how many elements? MCA. Yes? MCA element 3. Size is 3, but there is no elements. Isn't it? See, in AITM we have assigned or initialized the values, that is 4, 5, 6. That's why it is displaying 4, 5, 6. But in MCA we are not assigning any values, or we are not initializing any array elements here. Simply we have defined array name, that is MCA, but here we didn't assign any values, isn't it? So now MCA has MCA has 3 size but no values, right? Now see what will happen. Now I am referencing from one array to another array. How will going to reference? That is, whatever elements are there from AITM, that will move on to where MCA. That will move on to MCA. Is it clear? MCA is equal to AITM means what? What is the meaning for this line? Whatever contents are there. What contents are there in AITM? Here in AITM, what are the contents? Four by 6. That should be move on to where MCA. That is the meaning. So this is what array referencing. We are making what? Array referencing from one array to another array. Now AITM is 4 by 6. Now what will happen? See, from AITM to it should move on MCA array. Now MCA array is now empty but size is 3. Let's see what will happen. It should move from AITM to MCA. 4, 5, 6. Now what is the array of what are the elements of MCA? Now you tell me. MCA elements, MCA values 4, 5, 6. That's it. So now we will access those 4, 5, 6 elements, right? So here is a simple program I have taken. First one is AITM, first array I am using. By the way, which dimensional array I am using? Is it 2D or multi-dimensional array? Yes, single dimensional array. Okay, so because one subscript we are using, so one dimensional array. Now AITM has 3 elements. We have initialized 4, 5, 6. Then MCA we have just defined the size. We are not initialized anything. Now contents of AITM array. Now we are printing the contents of this array element. So for that I am using one for loop, for int I equal to 0, I less than 3. 3 means what here? Somewhere 3 means what here? Type of size of the array. Okay, now SOP AITM of I. AITM of I means it will print all the array elements. Done. So contents of AITM array 4, 5, 6. It is printed. Now our task is what? We have to reference from one array to another array. To how you going to reference? See, MCA you don't have any array elements, but AITM have the elements 4 by 6. Now you have to reference. How to reference? MCA is equal to AITM. MCA array name, then AITM array name. From AITM to MCA it has to move. Now we just print the MCA array. How can I print here? Can anyone tell me? Assign an array reference. This is what assign an array reference. What reference? From AITM array should move on to MCA. This is what assigning an array reference. This line is very important. Now I want to print MCA array elements. How to print that elements? How to print? To print array elements, what to do? for loop. We have to use for loop, right? In for loop, what is the size and what is the initialization? Let me know. Tell me first. You can refer in first for loop, na? It is displaying. Just refer that code at least. Yeah, for int I equal to 0, I less than 3, I plus plus, then SOP. What should I write inside this bracket? SOP, after SOP. Simply you are listening. Oh my god. You don't know how to access the array elements. MCA of I. You have to write MCA of I. You are clear? So if people are simply wasting to my time, so just listen, or you don't need to listen this one. You can all of you disconnect this meeting if you are not interested. Okay? Simply I am not pushing to join this class. It's your choice. Simple question I am asking. You people are not ready to answer me. Okay? So in next class onwards, my class is we are going to take in different way. Okay? So I am taking a responsibility, then I am teaching this way, but you are not able to write any simple answer, then how can I teach you? You do one thing, just complete to your HOD, then you change the subjects and you can take another step. People are irritating me. Now the another concept is using the length member in Java. Arrays are implemented as objects and each array has associated with it a length. Here we have to consider about one more keyword we are learning in this concept, that is length. Okay, the length contains the size of the array. Length contains size of the array. I am telling each and every point, and you have to practice also. I am telling, but you people you don't know. Practice you can leave, but at least concept you have to understand. I am asking so many questions while explaining the slides. After explaining, then I am adding two more slides extra from your answer. Yeah, that time you are going to tell. But what about tomorrow class? If I ask tomorrow, then you are not able to answer the questions. What to do? You are a loser. I am not a loser. You people are going to write in a main exam, right? See, next class onwards, you just start your video call. Make it video. From next class onwards. You have to respect the teaching faculty. My sir is asking what we have to answer. Don't know, simply you are listening. I don't know you are listening or not. And I am not asking difficult questions. Simple questions I am asking. Early morning also you are making my mood kharab. See, what you are thinking about me, I don't know, but if I take any subjects from my side, I am telling perfectly. You have to learn at least 10% from that subject. Okay, you are good in this subject, at least you have to answer me, man. In last week only I have asked any doubts, any problems you are facing. I don't know. Simply you are listening. Do you know what time will take to prepare one slide? I have to make all kind of animations here. We should respect to that work, na? Using the length member here, another one. I don't know you are going to learn or don't learn. See. Because it is very important. 10 marks question directly come from these concepts. To do one thing, take a two-dimensional array and just initialize any elements and print those array elements. Send me the code fast. Let's see what you are understanding in array concept. How about you start writing a code? Take a 2D array, two-dimensional array, and array name is give any array name MCR AITM, and initialization with some values. Take 2 rows and 2 columns. Write a code and send me fast. Let's see. About you writing or not writing? Okay. Take 2 rows, 2 columns, assign any values, then print back those values, because this concept is based on that concept. That's why I'm asking. What is the array name? AITM. Then to print all elements you have to give AITM, then I. That's it. Very simple logic. So this is an example of using length member, and this is a definition of length member. Understood this one? Is it clear? Is it very okay? Now here same example I am repeating here. So AITM, two arrays I have taken. One is AITM, another one is MCA. Here array size is 2 because I have initialized with 2 values, 7 and 8. Here 3 values, right? And total number of elements in AITM. What is the output for this? If I run this program, what is the output? 3. Total number of elements in AITM array is 3. Now contents of AITM array. What is the array elements it contains? 4, 5, 6. It will display 4, 5, 6. Now coming to this one, total number of elements in MCA array. What is the array size? 2. Yeah. Then contents of MCA array is 7 and 8. That's it. And yeah, okay. It contains the number of elements that array is capable of holding. That is using of length. The inclusion of length member simplifies many algorithms by making certain types of array operations easier and safer to perform. So instead of defining size of the particular array, you just use length, array name followed by length. That's it. So this is a simple program. You are giving the size, but when you are implementing big kind of projects, at that time you have to use length keyword. Okay, so it makes array operations easier and safer to perform. For that purpose we have to use length keyword, and it helps perform two important functions, that is length. First one is, it is used to confirm that target array is large enough to hold the contents of the source array. It will make two functions important. The first one is what? Confirm that target array is large enough to hold the contents of the source array. Second one is, it provides the termination condition for the for loop. Remember, see this, what? Termination condition. In previous examples you are using size, particular size you are giving the in condition, but here you are giving the word length. So what will happen? It will terminate the condition for your for loop, right? And one more important point, length, it is read only, therefore you cannot assign it a new value. It is read only. Once you run the program, what size or what array elements you have initialized, those elements you are going to print. Apart from extra elements will not print, right? So it is read only. You first write the length definition, it means holding the array size, then syntax, then example, then you have to write this information. Is it clear regarding length member? This time it is important questions. Okay, now irregular arrays or jogged array. Remember, if they are going to ask irregular array, explain irregular array with an example, or explain a jogged array with an example. Both are same meaning. Is that clear? I told in explicit and implicit conversion, right? Yesterday we have seen the question paper, like what? Widening and narrowing. Both are same meaning, explicit and implicit. Like that they will going to ask a question. So irregular array and jogged array, both are same meaning. This is another concept that is important. Jogged array. Jogged array is a multi-dimensional array. Yes, it is what? A multi-dimensional array where member arrays are different size. See, 2 points are there in this line. Jogged array is an multi-dimensional array. Okay, fine. And member of arrays are different size. Is it clear? It is a multidimensional and array size. Inside the array sizes are different. In previous examples you have used fixed array size. I mean, if you want to initialize these array elements, you have initialized 2 rows, 2 columns, or single dimensional rows. For some elements you have used. But in jagged array, it is a multi-dimensional array and array members are different size. Okay, I'll show the figure here. See, observe this. Here array name ARR 4 and column I have left blank. This is representing columns, right? Then row size is how much? Here 4. Row size is how much? 4. So first row, second row, third row, fourth row. So compulsory we have defined 4 rows. But in second subscript I have left blank because it represents columns. Here see, in first array it has 0th row. How many columns we have? 0th row, how many columns we have? 3 columns. In second row, I mean in first row, 0th row and first row, 2 columns we have. And in second row we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 columns. Means you are getting different kinds of sizes, right? Here array members are what? Different sizes. So it is called jagged array. It is called what? Jagged array. Understood this one? Jagged array. Is it clear? Okay. Now the second line, when we allocate a memory for a multi-dimensional array, we need to specify only the memory for the first dimension. First means here we have 2 box, right? First box only we have to mention and second box no need to mention because we are assigning different sizes of the array, I mean columns. So that's why we will no need to give column size. How many rows you have to decide and give the row size only, but columns no need to give size, column size. We can allocate the remaining dimensions separately. For example, 0th row has 3 columns, first row has 2 columns, second row has 1, 2, 3, 5 columns, and third row, that is only first column only first column. So it is called jagged array or irregular array. See, irregular means these all are not regular, not in sequence wise. Number of rows, number of columns are not same. Understood? Okay. Now let's see one example for this. Here contents of 2D jagged array I want to print like this: 0, 1, 2, 6, 4, 1, 7, 6, 8, 9 and 5, right? Now give one example. It is multi-dimensional array, right? So here observe carefully how to initialize a jagged array. So this first line you know, this is 2D. In 2D array we are writing like this. Then after you know these brackets, open flower bracket and closing flower bracket, inside we have to assign. How we have to assign? Again we have to create new int. Int means here what data type you are taking, that should be same type, int. Then how many columns you want, you just assign this 0, 1, 2. You need 3 columns, you just assign this. And in second row you just assign 2 columns, 6, 4. In main exam also you can write these 2 lines, no problem. Not compulsory to write these information, not like that. You just use 2 lines, that's it. Okay. Now print the jagged array elements. To print, see here, here we are using 2 subscript, yes, or 2 square box we are using. For this we need 2 for loops. We need 2 for loops. One is per row, another one is per column. Now printing for int I equal to 0, I less than, see here, MCA dot length I am using. Why I am using length? You know, 4 rows you have defined, fine. So you can give it here 4, no problem, it will print. But in second for loop, what size you will give? Is it possible to give column size here? Can anyone tell me, is it possible to give column size? Or get because here you are using 3 columns, second columns, 5 columns and first column. So in this situation we can use length keyword, automatically it will take. There is no restriction in that, right? Now one more point you have to observe here, MCA then I am taking here in second for loop, MCA then I. It represents what? Row. MCA I value is here what? 0th row. So it will take 0th row. Then length. 0th row length is how much? 3. So 3 times it will print. Then incrementing the I. Now I value becomes 1. Come to here. First row. How many elements? 2 elements. Then 2 elements will print. Like that it will print. So here one more small changes. MCA of I we have to give because we are printing row wise, right? So MCA I dot length. Now we will print back simply. You just write SOP println, print or println. Ln means it will come new line. Suppose you are using print here, it will print in single line only. All elements will print at a time. But if you use here ln means it is new line, that is the meaning, new line. So print all the elements 0, 1, 2, 6, 4 like that it will print. Is it clear? Any doubts in this question? Okay. Now important one, please make this important question in your notebook. Explain the working of enhanced for loop. Enhanced for loop. We have left in looping statement, right? I told to tell in so that concept came now. So explain the working of enhanced for loop with an example. And again explain for each style for loop with an example. Both are same meaning. Please write on this. Enhanced for loop or for each style. Both are same meaning. Don't confuse. And another one. Write a Java program to find the sum of array elements by using enhanced for loop. Program is asking. Another one is, what is enhanced for loop? Write a Java program to search an element in an array using enhanced for loop. So same question, same concept is repeating more times. So this is very important, and this one is new style of using for. You have learned in C, C++, whatever, but here in Java you have a new concept using for loop, right? Understood these types of questions? Enhanced for loop or for each style, both are same meaning. Now let's see. Before seeing enhanced for loop, what I am using, see here. Here what I am using, what this code represents. Tell me fast, time is up. Here what I am doing, simply I have assigned, defined and declare one array and initialized with some values. Then I am printing those array elements. Is it clear? With the help of for loop. Understood? Now again I am using another one. See, which one is very easy compared to these two for loops? Which one is very easy? Let me know. Second one is very easy because here we are using only 2 parameters, but here in this for loop, this is traditional for loop. initialization, condition and increment. Here we are using only two parameters. One is int xyz. I am declaring one variable, that is int xyz, colon I am using here, colon, then followed by array name. Then it will print all the array elements with the help of xyz. It means whatever elements are there, that will going to store on where, xyz variable. Now we print xyz, so it will print 12, 13, 14, 15, like that it will print. So it is called enhanced for loop or for each style loop. Both are same meaning. Written this heading, enhanced for loop or for each loop, both are same meaning. Okay, only write this heading. Now understood the working of for each loop. Int xyz, one variable you have to declare, followed by colon, then array name. That's it. Is that clear? Yes. Okay. Now here the description of for loop, for each style loop. Originally Java did not offer for each style loop originally, but it is released in which one, JDK version 5. In JDK version 5 onwards, it is supporting to use that kind of keyword, that is in for loop, for integer variable followed by colon followed by array name. So it is start working on where, JDK version 5. And for each style for is also referred to as enhanced for loop. It is also referred as enhanced for loop. Syntax: for is a keyword followed by int, or a type means what, int float char, like that, followed by variable name, then colon, then collection means what here, array name. Collection means array name. This is syntax, right? Now it starts with keyword for like normal for loop. Yes, we are using for. Here also we are using keyword for normal. Instead of declaring this one traditional for loop, initialization, condition and incrementing, no need to use that traditional for loop. We have to declare one variable that is the same type. Means what array you have defined. If you have defined int aitm, then you have to use int array name or variable name. If you declare array name as in string or char or float, same data type you have to use inside the for loop. So same type as a base type of the array, followed by colon, which is then followed by array name. That's it, right? And in the loop body we can use a loop variable we created rather than using an indexed array element. Indexed array element, that is nothing but what, we are using array name. So that is indexed array element. Understood this one? Okay. Now, okay, time is up. All of you can leave this meeting. Thank you.